Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League in 2022, where we wish you a happy new year and let's go racing. Welcome to the Expo Championship, part of the Oh What Open Wheel Academy Trilogy series. We're doing 10-minute qualifying, 40-minute race, sports soft tyres in the Expo with 250 brake horsepower and 995 kilo, and the rest of the details on the screen. We've got 9 interesting tracks to race around in this championship, and hopefully you'll notice a bit of a theme. And no, I don't mean the Italian, Japanese and American mainly tracks. That's not the theme at all. We'll have to see if you do catch on to what it really is. Okay, the first track on the calendar is Lake Maggiore Centre, length of 1.06 miles, 8 turns. We've got the Maggiore chicane, Twilight's End and Granny's Tip Hill, and a few corners without names, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on the track, and maybe we'll end up with a few more names for those corners later on. Okay, let's take a look at the result of qualifying then, with the first qualifying session of the season. Steve F1 pole position with a 51.060, SGP less than a tenth behind him, Conrad in third place, just under 2 tenths back. David Harp joins him on row 2, just over 2 tenths behind. Row 3 is Demon R alongside SRI with a good time there. Twilight will start in 7th place on row 4, just ahead of Mitch in 8th. In 9th we've got Jason, that's row 5, and he'll line up alongside Jimmy, just under a second off in 10th place. In 11th is Formula Gary, and alongside him we've got Hay in 12th, and then we've got Bunsell in 13th and Rich Blues in 14th. Unfortunately, Fluffy and Art Pal unable to race today, and also the reserves are not available. So, you know what's coming now, don't you? Let's hand over to the commentators. So here we go then for the first race of the Expo. And joining me on commentary, it's Sweet Baby Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm not too bad. How's yourself? How was your new year?
Good as we are waiting for the lights to go out. And away they go, and it looks like a lot of blue cars on the grid as Steve F1 gets a decent start from pole position. SGP, he was in second anyway. He's under threat now from Conrad. My new year was very good. I was asleep for it. I didn't hear a single firework, but we may get some fireworks today as we're having a look at everybody's shiny helmets.
Yeah, I hope they polished them up well, as we see Conrad and SGP going side by side.
Yeah, it looks like Conrad has just managed to squeeze ahead. He has. So Conrad up into second place. Okay, the Lake Maggiore Centre circuit. It's short. It's only got about 6 corners, and I forgot to put my track map up again, so I'll have to get that in a second.
Granny Tip Hill, going into Twilight's End.
That we are. SGP got back ahead of Conrad. I wasn't watching that. I was looking at the screen, but I wasn't watching. We're now heading down to the Maggiore chicane. I do remember that one. Oh, SGP, he'll be thinking, come here, track. I need to be on it. And Dave the Harp, who's been showing phenomenal pace in practice, is closing in on SGP and Conrad. And then SRI, I think it is. Yes, it is. SRI, dipping a wheel. But he's gone away with it.
Yeah, that's a good battle from Conrad and SGP. That's gotta say, it's been a while, but it has been a while because we've been in holiday mode.
Well, yeah.
Is SGP going to get the run? He's taking a wider entry.
That he is. I just want to quickly mention as well, we have got the pack cam with us, but unfortunately me and Ray can't see it today, so we can't really tell you what's happening on there, but there'll be loads of action, I'm sure, as David Hart really has closed in. I was going to say, you asked me how my New Year's was, right? Well, Christmas was, that's alright, went a little bit deep, he's alright though, as he's fending off Mitch. Christmas was better, yeah, Christmas was better than New Year's, right? Because at New Year's, I went to a party on the moon, but it was crap. There was no atmosphere.
Oh, no.
Boom, boom, straight in there. Don't worry.
Okay, Elon Musk.
I've been saving these up for 4 weeks, you know.
4 weeks, and as we see Mitch, he's going for a move on SRI into Granny's Tip Hill.
That he is, and Mitch makes the move. A lovely little overtake there. Someone got a little bit sideways. These cars are great fun to drive, by the way. They can go a little bit sideways. Might not be the quickest way, but it is the funnest way, that's for certain. As SGP, is he defending or attacking? I think he was attacking. Conrad going for the switchback. Now round the outside. SGP's got the inside line though, and here comes Dave the Arp. Ooh, this could
Is he
get
going to
interesting.
follow? I thought Dave the Arp would have followed SGP and keep Conrad out wide, but SGP couldn't get ahead.
No, he couldn't. Dave the Arp really has closed in on them. Mitch has got a bit of a gap now. Twilight's got ahead of SRI in the background, and the pack is absolutely bonkers around Demon R. SGP defending down into Granny Tips Hill. If you're wondering why it's Granny Tips Hill and not Granny Pit Hill, it's because this is the top, not the bottom. That's why it's the tip, not the pit.
Alright.
Conrad's got a decent run here. Is he going to pull out? No, he's not. SGP goes a little bit defensive. So Conrad perhaps just wants to focus on getting a run through turn 2. I will mention as well. Obviously, it has been a while since we've been at the racetrack a few weeks before Christmas. So happy New Year, everybody. Hope everybody had a really good Christmas and all that kind of stuff. And don't forget, if you have got real Christmas trees and you don't know what to do with them, get in touch with your local farms and or zoos. Or as Conrad going for the move up into Granny Tips Hill, gets it done. SGP got a run on the exit at the corner though.
Yeah, it's gone for a switchback. Is he going to make it? But now he's going to be on the outside into turn 1.
Aye, that he is. So I could see Conrad perhaps going a little bit deep here on the brakes as he tries to make sure he holds on to the corner. Now he's got it slowed down. Lovely. SGP, ooh, I think he was going to go for the fully wide entry, but then realised that Dave the Art was there as well, but he's got to run up the inside now as the rest of the pack comes flying by. SGP just ahead, is he? Maybe not. Oh, he's not.
No, Dave the Harp doesn't know which way to go. Oh, he's squeezing up the inside. Side by side. What a great battle this is.
Yeah, it is absolutely fantastic. Dave the Harp hasn't really got anywhere to go. Unfortunately, Steve F1 is pulling away while these guys battle. But yeah, I was mentioning about the Christmas tree. Yeah, get in touch with your local farms or anything that's got animals, because quite a few animals will eat the trees. But get in touch with the farms and zoos first. SGP having a look up the inside and on the pack, and I think Demon I was looking at making a move on someone. SGP now he's going to try going for the switchback. Oh, Conrad's made a mistake. Oh, he went deep. Oh dear, no switchback needed, and Dave the Art's still stuck in 4th place.
Yep, and Mitch is Conrad getting sideways there, and Mitch is slowly catching them.
He is, yeah.
And then he's bringing the pack. Look at the pack coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, SRI closing in as well as Dave the Hart trying to make a move on Conrad, having a look up the inside into Granny Tip Hill. Conrad realising he's there, gives him the room, but Conrad will get a decent exit around the outside there. And yeah, you can see, I mean, that's thing defending and ended up on the outside. It's not a bad place to go, especially if you're on the inside for the next corner. But yeah, so get rid of your Christmas trees wisely, folks. I just will mention as well, over just before Christmas, I got myself a new job at an Christmas tree farm. That's why I was mentioning about sending his Christmas trees to farms and the zoos. I absolutely love the job. I even got to a pretty high level. I was the branch manager.
Shut. I knew it was coming. I was saying, I'm like, you never said you had a job. I was like, something's coming.
Yeah. It's only 5 minutes of setup on that joke, but it's all right. It's Gary. We're having a look at the pack now. Gary and Jason. And Jason with his shiny helmet, bobbing along down the street, along with Bunsen.
It's unusual to see Jason that far back.
Yeah. Oh, someone's wheel there. I think that was Bunsel's. Right, saying that, it's unusual to see Demon R back here as well. So
is he not pitted or something?
No. I think he's just had a bad start to the race, to be fair. Twilight's ahead of him, a little bit sideways. Demonar with a blue helmet there needs to squeeze it a little less tight. Dave the Harp's helmet is green, which is different to what I've been showing on the... always going for the move on Conrad up the inside into Granny Tips Hill.
Going to have a poor exit on that sausage.
Oh,
yeah, Conrad's back ahead of him.
Oh yeah, he is, yeah. That's unfortunate for Dave. But yeah, Dave's got a new helmet, so Dave, I need you to share that helmet because the graphics haven't got that helmet on. I did ask for drivers if they're changing their helmets to share it. So yeah, please share that helmet with the fans. They all want to see your helmet, Dave.
No comment. As we see, who's this? Hay and Demonar.
It is, yeah. Gary and Jason still battling in the background as well. Yeah, Demonar up the inside of Hay. Gary sort of having a cheeky look around the outside, but realising he can't get it done. Jason having a cheeky look up the inside. Gary going for the switchback. Twilight's tipped a wheel on the grass. Demonar got a bad exit there. Hay's got a decent. Demonar's into the pits.
But I thought he was hitting the wall there.
Nah, no one would do that round here.
Oh, 3 wide into turn 1.
3 wide. Work out? It's not easy. Jason backed out of it. I don't blame him. 3 wide is is very risky. Anything more than that is just absolutely mental. So we'll probably see that later. So Hay fending off. Oh, it's sideways though. Fending off Gary. That'll compromise Hay's run up towards the Granny Tip Hill. Jason got a bit of a run on Gary, but the nature of these corners, it's not easy if you're not already alongside through those S's to get ahead. But into the final corner.
Jason going up the inside. Where's Hay going?
I think he may have missed his braking point there, unless he was assisted. So yeah, Hayes always heading into the pits. Maybe he was worried about his tyres. I mean, what I will say is Demonar pitting when he did. That's very unexpected. Rich having a look at Gary, thinks better of it. Bunsell alongside Rich now. As I'm sure while we're looking at this, the pack cam will be looking at the cars up at the front. But yeah, tyre wear, Ray, as far as I know, it isn't that bad in these cars.
No, I think you could do no stops to 1 stop. But I think if you're in a pack, it's going to be impossible to stop.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you're in the pack, in some respects, there's no harm in pitting because it doesn't take that long. Oh, Gary! Big sideways. That can be done in this final corner if you dip a wheel on the grass on the left. Who's that? I think that might have been Demonar that just come around the final corner. Yeah, so if you're in the pack in your pit, you've got a decent chance of catching back up the pack. What'll be interesting though is what happens with the leading guys, because if any of the leaders pit, they're coming out dead last, and then what the rest of the field does could definitely have an effect on it. As we're having a look at Rich, who's now in 9th place, looking at the back of Jason, got Bunsell behind him as Jason trying to make gains. Who's that? Is it SRI? SRI's caught up to Mitch, having a look at the inside. Mitch having none of it. Can he get it slowed down in time? Just about.
Yep, side by side coming down the straight.
I think
Mitch is going to have the inside line as well.
We've got a few more cars into the pits, so I'm wondering if Demonar's triggered a sort of a pit stop frenzy here. Mitch fending off SRI. Twilight and Jason were cars that pitted. There may be someone else as well. But yeah, I'm just wondering if Demonar went for an early pit stop there, either for the 2-stop or just to make others pit as well. Oh, SRI, you don't want to be out there. You're going to get your tyres dirty. Don't ask. I don't know what accent that was.
You sure?
Yeah.
What were you trying?
So, what have we got on the screen? Demonar's closing in on Gary, Jimmy and Expo.
Yep.
Now, one thing I will say is, as Bunsell heading into the pit, so you see, we've got a lot of drivers have pitted now, and this might work out for Demonar, because just as he's catching these guys up, if they start peeling off into the pits, he doesn't have to overtake. But Obviously, the more cars that pit, the less boost they'll get. So let's see what Jimmy and Gavin can do. Gavin.
What's on this side of Jimmy's car?
Oh, grass,
Well,
mud.
grass.
I'm not entirely sure. I've not really had a look.
It's like a face.
Oh, yeah, it's from The Simpsons. It looks like a young Ned Flanders. What is it? What is it? He says.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, I can't remember his catchphrase. It's yeah.
We've got Conrad back on the back of SGP.
That we have. So the battle for second, third, and fourth is still alive. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to go. It'll also be interesting to see if any of these guys are going to need to go in the pits or not. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a bit of a gap now to Mitch and SRI, neither of which have pitted yet.
As you see, they've the harp as well, so this is going to be a good freeway battle. SGP defending right along the line there.
Exactly. Clearly not wanted to give Connor a slipstream. Yeah, one thing I was going to say, with the pack cam and with the main camera here, it'll give drivers an idea of which bits of their livery they may need to tweak. So, like where they put their name, so it's better visible. Would be advised if all of the drivers could put their name on the rear number plate. What I will say though is I think for a lot of drivers, obviously with it being the Christmas period, okay, there was a few weeks before Christmas, but post Christmas there's not been a lot of time to get stuff ready. As Conrad having a look up the inside into Granny's, gets the move done. Is SGP going to go for the switchback? He's having a look, but I was going to say I don't think he'll fight it too hard because Steve. Oh, he's into the pits. Yeah, well I was going to say because SGP. It's got quite a bit of a gap. SRI and Mitch both into the pits now as well. So with them stopping at 15 minutes, Ray, are we thinking that's them to the end?
Yeah, possibly. Or they might do another one. It depends where they come out and how much of a battle they're going to have with the pack. That's
true. What I will say is Demon is now into 4th place. So he's pitted. Hey, this is interesting, right? So Demonar's in 4th place. He's pitted. The front 3 have not pitted, but if they pit, they'll come out behind Demonar's. Demonar's potentially net first now. So, Conrad's gone a bit deep. That one, he's got a bit wobbly. I heard his missus likes him a little wobbly. She likes to have something to hold on to. I will say I've never spoken to his missus, so please don't take offence. Don't take a wall either. Boom, boom.
That's it. Block him. Do a Twilight.
Yeah. I only just got that.
It's just... See, Dave the Harp, it's not really pushing Conrad. I think he's kind of falling. Maybe just so they're not slowing each other down.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, Steve F1 has got a bit of a gap. We're having a look at here. SGP. So SGP is currently battling with Rich, and SGP was in that fight for 2nd place. So he's down in 8th at the moment. Just goes to show how far back the drivers will drop. Rich has got a move on here on SGP. SGP going a little bit deep. And if this was any other night, SGP would end up in the pit lane here. To be fair, if it was any other night, SGP wouldn't be passing on the pit lane side. Bunsell having a cheeky look.
A late defend move from SGP there.
Put a report in Bunsell. SRI closing in as well. Oh, Rich! I don't know if Mitch just spun Rich, but I think he might have done. Yes, he's backed off and let him through, so I think Mitch may have accidentally spun Rich. And I'm surprised I said that without making a mistake.
Yeah. SRI got a run on Bunsell. It's going to go side by side through here.
Do you know the best? Do you know the best thing about a mistake?
What?
I love the way it tastes.
Oh, SGP
I mean,
up.
I just made that one up right now. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good. It's better than kebab.
SGP making another move on Jason. And he's got SRI behind him, and
Oh, yeah,
Jason
yes.
taking the tighter line.
Well, Jason did pit a lap or so after Demon R, so Jason is in the fight now with SRI, who has pitted, and SGP, who has pitted, and Mitch has pitted. Bunsell and Rich are there. Excuse me, Gary. Jimmy also may have pitted. So, yeah, very interesting. I mean, I'm sort of looking at it. Okay, so Steve F1 is heading towards the start-finish line now. So he could potentially pit and get out, maybe. It's a bit deceptive because it's such a short track. Ooh. We've got a three-way. Okay, so they all managed to survive that. But yeah, it is a little deceptive that the track is so short, with the lap times only being sort of high 40s with boost and low 50s without it. SRI having a look up the inside of Hay, not going to happen. Hay defending. SGP going around the outside. Is SRI going to have a look up the inside? No, he can't, because Hay has covered it off. Mitch trying to have a cheeky look up the inside, and somebody has just slotted themselves up alongside Jason, unless it was Jason getting alongside Bunsell. I think it was. Yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, so here's Stephen's championship friends. I shouldn't take the miss. No, he's having a good race at the moment. So we're 19.5 minutes into the race. Conrad and Dave the Harp haven't been fighting each other for the last few laps. And are they catching Steve F1? I don't know, but they're not really dropping away from him. Because this is the thing, if Connor and Dave pit...
Oh, Mitch has got ahead of SRI and here.
Oh, yes, so he has. I don't know if something happened then through the S's. Oh, 4 wide, 5 wide, 6 wide. Hey, that's not going to stop, is it? Ooh, no, that's not stopping. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. You know what? I was worried then that he may end up just firing straight back out on the track, but I think he realised that he had to return cautiously, which is a good way to do it. Jason dips a wheel. It's all right, though. And Jimmy is now back in the pack, which means I can say, hi, diddly ho, neighbour, you know. Oh, Jason, oh, he gone, no. Yeah, so one of Ned Flanders captured. Hi, diddly ho. Hi, diddly ho.
Right.
I can't do it in his voice because I can't remember what he said.
See Bunsell going up the inside of here.
I just see something. Did Ned Flanders sleep with Marge? What? I'm googling Ned Flanders catchphrase. It turns out he might have had an affair with Marge.
Jesus.
Yeah. Right, carry on. You keep talking. Mate.
So the SRI up the inside of Jimmy.
Okay, he's definitely. He's a tart, is Ned Flanders. One of his catchphrases.
Oh, he having a moment just before the S was it's all kicking off here.
Spend less time on your back and more time on your knees. What the hell?
You're looking at the right ones. Oh, here late on the brakes, he's gone round the outside. Is he going to gain a place on... Who is that? Can't see. As we've got SGP on the back of Twilight now. Into turn 1. He's not made the move yet. Oh, he's looking in turn 2. Oh! Twilight sees him and just gives him enough room.
It was close. It was very close. Okay, I'll stop looking at Ned Flanders quotes now. So yeah, Twilight and SGP. But SGP's managed to pull away from the pack though, hasn't he? So that's exactly what he needed to do. Steve F1 still hasn't pitted. Conrad and Dave, they've not pitted either. So
SGP going wide, trying to get that straight line.
I think that was a mistake, to be honest. It was a rare mistake.
He's done a couple of clear lines.
I prefer mine medium rare. So I could be honest. I shortened the rope on the bucket used to collect the villagers' water. It didn't go down well.
To see a great battle here from Twilight and SGP.
I like that.
He's got the run. Is Twilight going to go defensive or just take the wider line? SGP's going in the inside.
Well, let's see if he's going to mess it up. Like, oh, Conrod's in the pits. Ooh. So he's gone a bit beyond halfway. Maybe he's just realised, okay, I'm not going to get to the end. I'll pit now. SGP and Twilight still fighting side by side down towards. Come here. Come here. Mistake. Finish him. Sorry.
Looks like SGP's got the move done.
Can you tell it's been a while since I've been doing commentary? Ray's like, well, will you shut up with your stupid bloody... Don't worry, there's more.
And while they were battling, look, Nick just got on the back of them, so he's brought the pack a wee bit.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what Connor can do. Oh, Hayes all out of shape. I think he's in the barrier. Yes, he is. It'll be interesting to see where where Connor has come out. He's right behind Hay now. Hey no, hey no,
Jimmy up the inside there, is that right?
Motion. Yeah, Ray's having none of this, is he? I don't know. So Connor makes the move then. So Conrad is now ahead of Hay, but he's got everybody pretty much ahead of him, and quite a few of them have pitted not that long ago. So I don't think it's going to be easy for Connor. What do you reckon, Ray?
Is it Ned Flanders? Is it Harry Potter? It's like something on one side and something different on the other.
It kind of looks like a 70s or a 60s Ned Flanders. I've not seen the other side because the cameras are all on the outside of the track, apart from turn 2. So I'll have to try and keep an eye out for that. So Dave the Harp then, he's into the pits. Ooh, well.
That's going to bring him out behind Conrad.
Yeah, it is. But he will have a lap or two fresher tyres, which may pay dividends at the end. So Demon R now sits in second place. So his early pit stop, unless he needs to pit again, has worked out for him as Conrad making a move. He's made a few moves on that previous lap. Got past Bonsall, now got past Gary. Fresher tyres, he can push a little bit on them. He's now got SRI, Mitch, and a couple more ahead of him. But with the fresher tyres, he will be able to make some gains. Steve F1 now will be able to see that he's got Demon R behind him, but a bit of a gap to Demon R. So Steve F1 could potentially pit. It depends, though, how far back the pack is. As what we've got, Hay up the inside of Gary, just behind Conrad here. Hay making the move. So where is Dave the Harp?
Don't know, he must be down in 10th or less later. He's not at the top 9.
Oh, there he is.
He's at the back of the pack there.
Yeah, so Hayes off. He's managed to avoid returning on safety. So Dave is now 10th. He was 11th. He's now up to 10th. So Dave will see that Conrad is, 3 places ahead of him. He'll see him on the road. I mean, to a degree, I don't think he'll mind that. He's sacrificed one lap by staying out that extra lap, but knowing it'll help him with the fresher tyre to the end. But what he needs to do is make moves and get past these guys.
Jesus.
I wonder if Hay was taking evasive with Gary and then found Dave there. So yeah, I think Hayes heading to the pits. Yes, he is. So perhaps his tyres are done. I mean, if you're wondering how we were saying, maybe a non-stop, maybe a one-stop, but we see others pitting 2 or 3. It's either because they don't know that the tyres can recover, or they punish them too much. If you do go sideways a lot, it is good fun, but you'll only get the grip for a certain amount of time, and then after a while you've got no grip at all.
You see it's a wee bit calmed down now. Conrad trying to catch SRI. Dave the Harp trying to get on the back of Conrad, and we've got Bonsall and Gary here.
We've got SRI and Conrad as well. Conrad caught up to SRI. Conrad's on a bit of a charge here. Dave the Harp is now the car behind Conrad, so he can see exactly what it is that he's lost, but he's got time to close that back in. SRI's gone a little bit deep. That's allowed Conrad to have a look up the inside of turn 2. Now into turn 3. Hasn't gone aggressive, but he'll focus on his exit. As SRI got a little bit twitched, that slight moment of sideways as well as give Connor the opportunity to really close in. Is SRI going to defend? No. You see, now that might not be a wise. Sorry, that might be a wise thing, because is Conrad really SRI's battle? Maybe not. But does SRI want to lose time? No. Chances are at that close he's going to attempt the overtake anyway, given the room. Focus on your exit. Now SRI's in a position to attack back into turn 1, as someone else in the background just slotted into the pits.
Oh, I didn't see who it was. So SRI going in inside the turn 1, can't get it done. I don't think he's going to get it in 2 because Conrad's got the inside line.
Yep. And I'm not. Oh yeah, SRI struggling a little bit with the grip on the rear tyres. The car getting a bit sideways, and again, and this is what I'm on about. It's fun and it's okay. It's not as quick, but if he keeps doing that, he will get slower and slower. Dave the Harp has closed in a little bit on Connor. He's closed in a lot on SRI. Jimmy getting a little bit sideways. Mitch down in 11th. I don't know if he's pitted again or whether he had a problem. Didn't really see. But he's.
It may have been Mitch. It was in the pits.
It may have been, yeah. A car in the background that we saw heading to the pits could have been. I mean, what I will say is, I mean, the pack is very close still. I mean, I think we've got 3 cars at the back that have pitted recently again. Hay pitted, we saw him do that, and there's a couple behind him, which I think will be Rich and Bunsell maybe. Is that a Justin Bieber song? Bunsell baby. Instead of Call Me Baby or Call Me Maybe, it's Bunsell baby.
That was somebody else that said Call Me Maybe.
Is it? All
right. That Kelly Ray Aspen or something.
Yeah, turns out the guy she was trying to date was gay. But there you go.
Oh, Dave White's on that sausage cup.
Well, Dave does like a sausage in the hole.
Oh, here comes Mitch. So if Mitch is pitted, this has worked out well for him. Because he pitted with SRI.
Yeah.
And look, he's get fresher tyres and he's only 2 cars away.
Yeah, Dave the Harp hasn't got past that. So, I think Dave the Harp may have just realised he needs to get a bit of a shift on. Because, Conrad's pulled away from SRI and Dave has not got past yet. Jason closing in as well, and Jimmy and Gary. I mean, I mentioned that the pack is quite close. I mean, okay, if you look at the track map, it does look very spread out, but you've got to remember the track is very, very short, so it's not actually spread that much. Mitch having a look up the inside of Dave, thinks better of it. Dave having a look up the inside of SRI, finally gets the move done. No, he doesn't. SRI with a switch back. He's really pissed him off with that one.
Can you not see his visor steaming up?
Hey, I tell you what, Demon R running in second place. SGP has been closing in on him, and interestingly, Connor is also on the back of Twilight.
Up in 4th.
Yeah,
I know he has been a previous jam, but I didn't expect him to be up on 4th.
Yeah, that's nice. Well, interestingly here, both of these guys have pitted at very different times. Let's see, Demon are going to go defensive. No, he's not going defensive at all. Okay, Conrad making the move in the background. SGP's got deep. What a donut. I was going to say, it looked like Demon R was not fighting that one because of the pace that SGP's got. Maybe he was thinking, to catch Steve F1, it needs an SGP to go and do it with his fresher tyres. Conrad has got past Twilight, and Conrad
has got past Dave the Harp on the timing screen.
Oh yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Dave the Harp's went back.
Oh dear, so maybe Dave's chance of winning this race is falling away. I mean, to be fair, we've only got, just over 8 minutes to go. Let's see, SGP still behind Demon R. Conrad, look at how much he's pulled away from Twilight and closed in on SGP. Conrad is absolutely flying. Demon R once again not going defensive. SGP nowhere near close enough to have an attack. He is close on this one though.
Yeah, he's got the run out the corner. Is he going to go turn 1?
Well, interesting. Demon R once again not defending in any way, shape or form. Yeah, that suggests to me that Demon R is not fighting this one because SGP's got the pace with our fastest caught him up, and
Dave the Harps came in front of SRI and Mitch.
Yeah, it looks like they're battling. Maybe that's on the pack cam. Well, I would have thought it will be on the pack cam. Remember, we can't see it. Next week, hopefully, we will be able to see the pack cam, but this week we can't. There it is. So Dave and Mitch, that's why they kept changing places. They're side by side. Jason and SRI side by side. Is Dave ahead? Oh, he just turned in a bit and Mitch was there. Yeah, be careful of that one. Oh, hey, he's into his barrier again. Gary's spinning around.
Gary's got the hot pants on. Jason up the inside the Mitch.
Not quite able to do it though. So Dave now ahead. Got a little bit of a gap. Dave needs to get turn 1 right. If he can get turn 1 right, he can break away. If he doesn't, he's going to be under pressure for the whole of the lap. Steve F1, by the way, still has not pitted. SRI attacking Jason. No, he's not. Mitch, he's going for the wide entry into 2, but when there's a car near, it just invites them to have a look up the inside like Jason did there. And now Jason's through into 3. That's exactly what Dave the Harp needed. He doesn't normally say thank you, Jason, but I think he will be today.
It looked like Mitch was going to get the run out at turn 3 there, but Jason just held on to it. Now we'll get SRI Jason.
Yeah, Mitch backed out of that one, and I don't blame him. Oh, he went for a switchback on Jason, but found a Raymond. It's an interesting battle, this, but it's one of those things. If you're going to leave the door wide open, sometimes you'll find a car there. And I mean, maybe that's something we can talk about in the G-Spot rate, about gaps being open.
Okay. As we see Conrad on the attacking Demon R, is he going to?
Yeah.
Is he going to leave it till the last corner? It looks like it. He's took the tighter line out. He's side by side. Yeah, he's got the move done. He's got fresher tyres, remember?
Well, once again, Demon R not really sort of defending it. So, I mean, maybe it's a similar thing where he's thinking, you know what, Conrad's got the pace. Him and SGP could catch Steve F1, because I do think that these 3 are catching Steve F1. And with only, 5 minutes to go, there's no way Steve F1 is going to be pitting. So, Steve F1's tyres are going to be dead at the end of this race. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we mentioned that, okay, you could do a non-stop, but it comes at a risk. And that risk is that your tyres are dead at the end as Hay is up alongside Jimmy. No, he's not. He's now up alongside SRI. Jimmy trying to switch back. Jason's dropped down a few. I don't know whether he's had an issue or not, but SRI's had an issue. It's not the big issue. It's just a grassy issue. Don't go forward, don't go forward. Conrad's on the back of SGP. Hopefully the pack cam will be covering, by the way, pack cam powered by Streamlabs, not endorsed, powered by, because we use Streamlabs to do the recording and the live stream. Conrad attacking SGP into turn 1. Looking
going for the switchback on turn 2 here.
I think he was.
He's got it. Done on turn 1.
Yeah. Oh, well, is SGP up this? No, he's not. It looked like he was going to go for a switchback, but SGP went a little bit deep. But maybe SGP's in a similar situation as to what Demon R was, where Conrad is so fast at the moment that Conrad has also got a new helmet. Shea helmet, Connor, please. So it's Iron Man.
An Iron Man.
Good. It's not Con Man, it's Iron Man.
You see, Dave the Harp try to catch up on Twilight there. He is gaining little by little, but look at that pack in the background.
Yeah. If I keep going quiet every now and again, I do apologise. I've got a broken tooth that's really sharp and it keeps stabbing me on the inside of my
lip. Is SGP going to fight back? Doesn't look like it.
And you mentioned that Dave the Art was closing in on Twilight, and yeah, there he is. Oh, hey!
There's Hay off again.
Well, there's plenty of grip there. He's laid rubber down already. Yep.
You see Jason and Jimmy, Gary and SRI.
Ooh, Gary got sideways then and got a bit of a tag from behind. Hey, I got a question for you, Ray. What did your missus think about your gaming obsession?
I don't have a gaming obsession.
I thought you were going to say I don't have a missus, because you do.
Oh, Gary, thrown one inside of us, alright.
I'm going to change it then from a gaming obsession to a gaming addiction, because clearly you don't realise you've got an obsession, which means it must be an addiction.
Oh, I just play games when I want to play games. I don't know.
I just drink. Well, I would drink. I am, and I'm on the school run, and I'm having a drink.
Dave the Harp on back at Twilight said he was catching.
Aye.
How long's Twilight going to be able to defend his Twilight played? Don't know. Don't think he has.
You know, I'm not sure. He must have done.
Well, he's not defending for Dave the Harp, so...
Twilight did pit a lap or two after Demon R pitted, so he's gone longish. So Demon R pitted about 8 minutes gone, something like that. So Demon R's gone for a 30-minute plus stint. And I tell you what, look at the track map, right?
Look at this.
Whoa! Yeah, okay. But I was going to say, look at the track map. The gap between Steve F1, who is going through the S's now, and Conrad, who's going through the S's now, that gap's coming down. SGP is closing in with him. So even though Conrad has pulled away from SGP...
Are we on the last lap for these, or is it
no,
one more to go?
You know what? I hadn't even realised we are now the 39th minute. I don't think we're on the last lap yet. Jason's coming under a bit of pressure from Jimmy and Hay. Oh, Gary in the background watching. We watching, thinking, come on, guys, crash, crash, crash for me. I don't know why I sang that, but there we go. Anyway, I was asking about your gaming obsession because my wife's left me because of my obsession with video games. I mean, what a stupid thing to fall out for. You just spoke over the punchline of me joke.
Rubbish, you know.
No, it wasn't. I was going to say, what a stupid thing to fall out for.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Save that joke. 4 weeks and you ruined it.
4 weeks it took you, Jesus.
Okay, so what have we got at the moment then? So Jason is under a lot of pressure from SRI.
And this will be...
Oh, yeah, it will. You know what? It could be close for the leaders. To what? So Steve F1's crossed the line. I think Conrad may have... SGP's finished, so yeah, the front two, they get another lap. Demon R's going to hold on to fourth. Carnage, pit lane. Twilight Zone ends. Oh, we've got a car facing the wrong way. We've got a car in the pit. We've got a 3 wide over the line. And we've got Steve F1 and Conrad on a final lap of the race. Steve F1 would have been hoping that Conrad didn't make the line, but he did. The question is, can he close that gap in? There's only one more corner to go.
It's got to be late on the brakes here and hope he gets a run.
He is late on the brakes. He's hard on the brakes. He's excited. I don't think he's going to get the exit though. It's close. He's gaining. Steve F1, is he going to be pipped at the post? No, he's not. He's going to take the victory. Conrad, second place. Holy cow. I tell you what, I think one more lap and I think Conrad would have had him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've got to say, what an absolutely thrilling race there. We barely saw anything of Steve F1 throughout the course of that race, but I mean, he's done a stellar job. No pit stop. I mean, it was touch and go at the end. Because I wouldn't be surprised if, as that timer was coming down, he was thinking, can I not cross the line and not have to do the extra lap? Can I back off a bit or not? And I think he will have realised it's too close to call. If he'd have backed off to wait for the flag, he'd have lost the race. So yeah, what an absolutely brilliant race up at the front there. But to be fair, the pack, once again, absolutely mental. But good.
Yeah. Yep, it was great. Some great racing in there.
That there was. Okay, so excuse me. First race of the season done. First commentary of the season done. First action of the season captured. What do you make of these cars, Ray? What do you make of the race? What do you make of the shorter circuit?
The shorter circuit, it was quite interesting to drive, especially with 14, 15 cars on track. And with these cars, it was a bit of a challenge because these do like to go sideways a wee bit. So there was that bit of a challenge of your how you deliver the throttle.
Yeah.
So
it also looks like overtakes aren't necessarily going to just be easy. You might have to work for them a little bit. There may be occasions where, like we saw with Demon R and SGP, and SGP and Conrad and Demon R and Conrad, where drivers may not defend someone too hard, because if someone, I mean, okay, it's one thing, if you're in the pack and someone catches you up from 4 or 5 seconds back, it's the boost, it's going to happen, there's not a lot you can do about it. If you're in second though and the third has caught you at like a second a lap, they've got pace. So
yeah.
Do you use them to catch the car ahead of you, or do you try and fend off this person that's just caught you at a second a lap? So yeah, things may differ on occasion. I mean, I think with the likes of SGP, Conrad and Demon R, if it had been anywhere near the end of the race, they'd have defended like crazy for the position, because obviously they want the position. But yeah, a very interesting race. The next one's going to be interesting as well when we get there, which is, I'll mention it now, Sardegna C. For anyone that doesn't know, it's the track with Ravens Wall. It has got a couple of other corner names that I've given it. What I will say is there are a few tracks this season that don't have corner names, and we're open to suggestions. So yeah, we'll see how we go on. Some of them
We'll see who crashes.
Exactly, we'll see who crashes where. So yeah. Anything you want to mention, Ray, about the race before we head over to the G-Spot?
Yeah, it seems it was pretty good race, and even the pack, you've seen them at 1.4 wide, and it didn't look as if there was much in the way of crashing or taking each other out. But it looked a good race to be in. Well done to Steve F1 on his first one.
Yeah, making a claim for his 5th title. Okay, so time then to head over to
the G-Spot.
Are you English? The G-Spot. I'm going to have to clip it from when you did it the first time and add it on, so I don't have to say it every time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I mentioned something about gaps. Okay, yes. Right, on a track like this that we've just raced on, there are a few corners where the fastest line around a corner appears to leave the door wide open for a car that's behind. Now, there are some corners on tracks, and this is one of them, where when that happens, a car in front of you takes that very wide entry and you fancy having that cheeky look up the inside, it can be very touch and go as to have you got there fairly or not. It depends, but I think perhaps the main thing I would perhaps look at is, if it was me going round one of the corners like turn 2 here, for example, the fastest way is to like sacrifice the exit at turn 1 to really take a wide entry into 2. But if I do that with any cars anywhere near the back of me, and I do mean anywhere near, I'm not going to go for that wide entry, because if I do, they may think I've left the door open. However, if I do go for the wide entry, then when I turn in, I have to be aware that there could possibly be a car there. Now, for the car that's behind, what they have to realise is that if they're going to go and cheekily stick their nose into that gap, that the car in front may not realise that you're there. So people may go, oh, he's turned in on me. Well, yeah, but you're having a cheeky look. So it's not that they've gone, oh, look, he's up alongside me, I'm going to turn in. You weren't alongside anywhere near the corner, or before the corner. When they looked, you weren't alongside. It's one of those, it's a cheeky move, but you're probably going to get turned in on. So it's a very touch and go situation, because, I mean, from my personal view, not Stuart's view, my personal view is that neither driver can really complain too much, because the one that turns in and then finds there's a car there can't go dive bomb, because it probably might not be a dive bomb. It's a bit of a cheeky
Unless
look.
it was.
Well, yeah, if it was a dive bomb, then it obviously was. I mean, that's where it'd come down to the stewards to look at it and go, okay, is it a cheeky move, or is that from too far back? And that's why I'm saying it's my view, not the steward's view. But at the same time, if you're on the inside, you've gone for that cheeky move, you can't go, oh, he's turned in on me. Well, you've not given them any chance to realise you're there. So it's kind of it's one of those, like when we raced at Brazil the first few times, in the middle sector, similar. The fastest way round a few of those middle sector corners is to take a wide entry. But you got cars anywhere near you, they're going to have a cheeky look up the inside. So what does everybody do now? Covers the inside. If someone wants to pass you, they're going to have to go all the way around the outside. Right? And the same thing happens here, normally, where everybody will cover the inside. Now, what we saw in this race is there was a few occasions where people didn't cover the inside and others had that cheeky look up the inside. Well, I think personally I would say it definitely comes down to a very fine line in that scenario of, did they come from too far back, or was it just a cheeky attempt and it's all's fair in love and war? Your thoughts?
That was all I say. Don't, if they're doing that at the apex and done a late break and they're missing the apex, if they're holding on to the apex, and I'd say it's a wee bit cheeky, but
yeah,
the guy in front's got, or person in front's got to kind of go, right, are they going to be close enough to stick up the inside there, or to have the free will of going wide and then turning in for a late apex? So it's 6 and half a dozen.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, I'm definitely not saying that everybody can go and chuck it up the inside at every corner.
Nah.
Not saying that. This is specifically a conversation about a corner like turn 2 here.
If the person that's doing a wee cheeky move up the inside and doesn't stick to the apex, runs out wide and pushes the other person further wide, then the move shouldn't have been on.
Yeah,
in my view.
Yeah, I mean, it even carries on a little bit into. Okay, let's say the car behind is within a range that if I was the car ahead, they could go for it. They could have a cheeky attempt, right? So if I was then the car behind and I've had that, I'm within that range of having a cheeky attempt. I've gone for the cheeky attempt. The car has then turned in on me, and there's contact. Potentially there's nothing in that, right? It's just racing contact. that can happen. But if after that I was to then force that car off wide with further contact, like you say, because I haven't been able to slow down enough, and I force them off or wide, then that obviously would turn it from a cheeky overtemp to a you've not made the move fairly. So, I mean, what I will say is don't take everything we're saying as 100% certain for every corner, every situation. It's not. It is very incident specific.
You're just commentators.
Exactly. Well, I mean, this isn't a negative thing that I'm about to say. It's more of a positive thing I'm trying to say, which is to emphasise that each incident that involves people is different to every other incident. Even two incidents in the same corner can be different. So, what I would always try and say to people, well, it's a bit kind of like the Hamilton-Verstappen argument, isn't it? It's like, well, whatever happened in Brazil with Verstappen pushing Hamilton off into South America, and if Hamilton fans go, well, you pushed him well off track, but then the argument comes back, yeah, well, what about Silverstone? Well, they're not the same, so don't even bring it up. Yeah. Like if we're talking about an incident at Brazil, don't bring up an incident somewhere else, because it's different. There's different factors, even if it's a different driver, it's a different car, it's a different speed, it's a different braking point. There's so many different factors you cannot just go, oh, that's exactly the same as that one. So yeah, I must admit that's one thing that does get me when it comes to having arguments. It's a bit like if you're having an argument with the missus. There's no joke coming here. But you're like, why on earth would you put plates in the top drawer of the dishwasher? Well, you did it. Yeah, well, I was pissed and I didn't know what I was doing. See, it's not an argument, is it? Argue like the top shelf in the dishwasher, not the time you did it before when you were pissed off. So see, no joke there. Yeah, although I do want to tell you about a woman that who eats plants. You've probably not heard of her before.
No.
No.
It's a herb.
No. Okay, that I think that'd be.
It didn't work.
It didn't go. I don't know if I said. Yeah, you've probably never heard of herbivore.
Yeah, I've heard of her before.
Yeah.
Well, rosemary, thyme.
Oh yeah. No. Cumin.
Come on, I was fucking a chef. Cumin. I was a chef of. God.
As soon as I said cumin, I don't know. There was the only spice that came to mind. As soon as I said cumin, all I could think, come in. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next round, because Sardegna Sea, that's a bit slippery, isn't it?
It is. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, okay, we'll talk a little bit about the next track, and then we'll get on to the race results and stuff. I will put the image up towards the end of the video as well. But yeah, Sardegna Sea. It's a very short track again. Catch on to the theme here, guys.
Is it clockwise or anti-clockwise? I can't remember.
It's anti-clockwise. So the first corner is left-hander. So we've got sort of like a tricky little sort of hairpin S's into Radrian's Wall, which is a nice corner in these cars, but if you get it wrong, it's going to be nasty. We've then got a very fast downhill sort of, left, right, into an uphill left, right, where if you lose the rear of the car on that right, you're going to be out of shape into the braking zone for the final corner, which I have called Novelist's Hairpin, because everybody goes right there, and it's a left-hand corner. Play on words. So if you haven't worked it out, I'll tell you afterwards. So it is slippery in the sense of, because of the multiple changes of direction, we could see a lot of drivers ending up sideways around a track like that. I have no idea how the tyres will cope around that track, because I mean, I would think the tyres will suffer more there than at than Maggiore, because Maggiore only really had 2 braking zones, and 3 slope corners and 1 fast chicane, which wasn't really a corner. Whereas Sardegna has got 2 big braking zones, 1 medium braking zones, and multiple changes of direction on camber and hills and elevation. So it's going to punish the tyres a bit more, I think. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see how everybody gets on at that track.
Yep, it was at 1.65 miles long. 10 turns.
Yep, that it is.
10 turns compared to what we just done there. What?
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
5.
7. Well, I'd probably call it 7. 1, 2, 3, and then the chicane. 4, 5, 6, and then the final corner 7. I mean, the chicane's not really much of a corner.
Nah. You kind of straight lined that near enough.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends if you're a car that's spun there. It's definitely got a few corners in it. Something I will mention, actually, I don't know exactly at the time of recording this what happened with the crash on the final straight. But what I probably would say is, I mean, if that's something we want to discuss, we may be able to discuss it on next week's G-Spot.
Yeah, where we've got more of an idea of what's happened and that.
Exactly, and we can have a more informed opinion on what is going on. Talking of informed opinions, I picked up a hitchhiker a couple of nights ago. And he asked me, he says, how do you know I'm not a serial killer? And I just laughed and says, well, what's the chances of 2 serial killers in one car at the same time? It's astronomical.
Okay. And on that note, I
Back
think
to
it's
the studio. Okay, right then, it's time to check out the confirmed race result and the championship standings. Steve F1 then taking the victory in the maximum 20 points. Conrad so close to taking that win. Second place for him on 17. SGP in third with Demon R 4th. Dave the Harp in 5th place. Twilight in 6th. Mitch in 7th. Jason 8th. Rich 9th. Bunsell 10th. Jimmy 11th. Formula Gary 12th. Hay 13th and SRI 14th, but with a did not finish. And unfortunately, Hay also has a -3 point penalty. We mentioned that there was an incident at the end of the race there, just by the pit entry, and at the time of recording the commentary we hadn't seen what had actually happened there, but unfortunately Hay has received a penalty for that, and we probably will touch on that in next week's G-Spot, but information of that is on the Dynamic GT League Facebook page. Okay, so let's have a look then at what that has done to the standings. Well, it's exactly the same as what's on the screen now, but with a different background, you see. Isn't that cool? New background, new imagery as well. Okay, so Steve F1 leading the way. Conrad 3 points behind him. SGP in third. Demon R 4th. Dave Hart 5th. Twilight 6th. Mitch 7th. Jason 8th. Rich Blues 9th. Bunsell 10th. Jimmy 11th. Formula Gary 12th. Hay in 13th now on 1 point. With SRI 14th on 0. Tied with Art Pal and Fluffy, who haven't raced, and they're tied with Ray, so they're doing well so far. Okay, well, unfortunate for Hay getting the penalty there, but it was also unfortunate for SRI and Gary getting caught up in that. But sometimes that's racing, it can happen. And next race, well, the track there is an interesting one. We've already talked about it a little bit on the commentary, but let's take a look at some of the details, shall we? The circuit known as Sardegna C, length 1.65 miles with 10 turns, turn 1 being at the bottom of the screen, which heads towards Ray Duran's wall. We'll see. A few drivers in, I reckon. It's definitely hit or miss. in that you either hit it or you miss it. It's as simple as that. After that, we've got the wall friends, because there's a few walls down there that people are going to get a bit friendly with, and then the novelist hairpin, the final corner, where everybody likes to go right, and you'll see why next time out. Just a reminder as well, there is Dynamic GT League merch available on the DGT League merch store, link in the description. Thanks to Streamlabs for having that available. And we can do custom items as well, so if you want your own name on our t-shirts, we can do that kind of stuff for you, or even mugs or mouse mats or hats or a number of other things. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask us for what you want. And if you're of the female persuasion, there are also dresses, sports bras, leggings, and a few different items for the ladies as well. Or if you're a bloke and you like to dress up in the ladies' clothing, whatever floats your... I was going to say boat, but we do car races, so whatever floats your car. Right, have a good one, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I'll never apologise properly for the bad jokes, because they're always going to be coming. So yeah, have a good one, and hit like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. It might hit you back one day. And yeah, we'll see you all again next time out. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.